happens. The Barret one-shots everybody in the legs and arms. The only thing that stops it is the level 3 armor.
All right, well, here we go. The game is underway. We're kicking off game number 1 here for the World Championship Grand Final. And we'll have to see where the drops are going to be coming on in. I'm going to be curious to see where the ring ends up as well, because obviously pretty decent spread across the south of the map right now.
Yeah, we are just seeing people drop down at this point in time. Taking their time, just picking their choices, and you can see looks like a lot of activity going on around Rust Bay. I know that this was a big thing for the European team Rampage. It looks like XTVS are already down there, already down in some of those houses surrounding Rust Bay. That'll be a high population location.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got I Am Crazy coming on in here, trying to get on into the warehouses, join up with the rest of his squad. Should be able to do something. He's obviously on RMP, so Rampage, the European squad, moving on through. But I'm curious to see how soon we'll see actual battles here, how well the teams will have spread out. Obviously, at a higher level of Battle Royale gameplay, everybody will be wanting to spread out as much as possible. Everyone wants to get those guns before going for early fights.
We're just following Car at this point in time. A little bit of lag on the screen, but nothing major. Hopefully not affecting the players, maybe hopefully more affecting us on our side.
Yeah, I think just observer lag coming on in here. But we'll have to see how this one continues to play out, as Car just looting on up, trying to make sure that they are ready for when they bump into some other teams. And you can see that the other teams, not too far away, already manages to find himself 4-time scope, which very lucky find early on.
Yeah, no, 4 times is one of the best scopes in the game. It allows you to function at sort of almost every range possible from Rules of Survival. You have a limit to the view distance that you can get to when it comes to renderings, so 4 times kind of gets you towards that view limit, and it's the most adaptable scope in the game as well, especially because there is hit scan mechanics in Rules of Survival. Everything hits directly where you shoot it, so realistically it's a very, very good find for an AR early. I can see already someone's got the M14 EBR, which in my opinion is just the best rifle in the game. The reason that is the case is that it has no drop-off damage. There is a drop-off damage mechanic in Rules of Survival. The further you shoot an assault rifle...
Yeah, amazing. But enough about the opening ceremony. Enough about the VODs. Let's take a look at this game. Really widespread across the entire map right here. Teams going in all kinds of directions. I'm excited to see how this one's going to pan out. Yeah,
so let's take a look at what we've got so far. You can see OG, the team that we kind of expected to do really well here, going towards Chemical Depot. A couple of teams splitting up. Team Secret actually splitting up across the map completely. That's a very interesting tactic. You do see...
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Let's see if it pays off. I think we see this in a lot of other Battle Royale games where the individual members will split up and then regroup later on. It means that you're less likely to get squad wiped and potentially increases your squad positioning by trying to play a bit more of a hiding-based tactic. You can see here Gallus from Team Secret, we were just talking about them, moving across the map on a motorbike right now.
Riders on the stone.
I don't have the right team lists right here because Team Secret technically listed as 4 here, but are actually 1. So that 1 should have been WEDG, but hey. Yeah. Oh no, wait, no, that is 4. It's just his number. That's number 1 from Team Secret. My apologies. You can see Car here.
It's just the player, yeah.
Car just around that Rust Bay area, looks like. Just again, we saw a lot of this. These are the houses that are just outside of Rust Bay to the north. And these are quite good for loot locations. It means you don't get the heavy fire of Rust Bay, but you can get a lot of loot for your team.
Yeah, I want to point out that when you watch these Chinese players, like using the lean mechanic and things like this, if you guys are players at home, if you've not played that much, but you've kind of played with the game a little bit, lean isn't actually a default mechanic. You have to go into the settings even to just enable that, and to see the movement from these players, it's kind of exceptional to see that. You can see the minimap here. So we've got our first team, WEDG, there all the way over at Wincliffe, but look at how widespread this is. Looks like Team 5 and Team 9 could well be battling each other pretty shortly.
Yeah, so that's, you've got Car over there, and they are going to be lining up against RW98 on the either side of the bridge near Rust Bay. Interesting that the actual Rust Bay area has been untouched. That hasn't been sort of slotted into right now. You did see those 4s, those individual 4s across the map. That was Team Secret splitting up. And again, I think the idea there is to reduce the likelihood of a squad wipe and try and increase positioning. I was told by Vainglory veterans, just watch Team Secret. You will see why they've got to this position. They have a really, really interesting tactic. I don't think interesting was the word that they used when I talked to them about it, but I'm going to phrase it as interesting.
Yeah. Definitely, it's a strategy that it's not exactly a, well, how do I word this? I was going to say it's not a highly competitive strategy. It is competitive because they've got to the tournament using that strategy. But it's not competitive in like, I'm going to take it to my opponents. It's in, I'm just going to avoid my opponents entirely and just see how long we can survive during these games. And you get points for kills, but you also get points just for survival and where you place in the game. So definitely a strategy that can pay off big time if they survive long enough.
So let's say there's, how many players we got here altogether? 60
in total.
60 players, so the maximum amount of kills that you can get as a team, if you kill everybody in the game, would be 54. That would total 540 points per game for a 56.
Pretty good score.
560 points maximum from kills that you can achieve. For getting first place, that's 250 points. The second place is 200, and then it starts to drop to 180, 150. So if you're Team Secret here and you split up across the map, you're not likely to be getting kills because you're facing entire squads by yourself. And how likely is it that you're actually going to be able to rejoin and get top space, you know, top place? So it's a very risky tactic. I'm not sure in terms of points gained that it's the right one to play.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, a team that, well, I suppose if you get second place, you still get like 200 points, for example. So yeah, it's definitely not the safest strategy in terms of acquiring a lot of points, but if you can consistently do it, if you can place top 2, top 3 every single game, maybe that's enough. If the top couple of teams do keep swapping around, we'll have to see as the game progresses. So far, not actually that much action in terms of kills. Everyone playing this one very safe, and I can't say I blame them. This is the first game of the entire tournament.
No one's died just yet. You can see RW98 absolutely know that the, I think it was car are on the other side of that bridge near that Rust Bay area, and they are just scoping each other out right now. You saw right there RW98 had a 4x on the AK. It's actually a gun that is favored quite heavily by a lot of professional players simply because of that single high shot damage that it provides over other ARs. We did see the circle on Observatory. Observatory is the circle right now. What team is in Observatory? 3. That's the MY team.
Man, I swear every single game I play, the circle goes on to Observatory, which it's convenient for me because that's pretty much where I drop every time. But here we go, starting to ride those tuk-tuks across the map. You can still see every single player still alive, 60 out of 60 players remaining. But as this circle starts to close in, you'll see the fights start to finally begin. We'll start to see these teams really battling it off and see who will be the top team. So lucky future here, LF, you can see them starting to move up as a squad. They have quite a long way to go though if they want to get into that ring.
Yeah, most teams should be able to negotiate this on that first circle. We can see some things opening up now here, Munchables.
Yeah, Peter's already going to be going down. That is the first casualty of the game. He's down into, and that's one of the Team Secret members as well.
He's not going to get rest.
Players that's going to be trying to hide.
He's not going to get rest. So that's one member from Team Secret already going down. They have been picked off. They've got 3 members left. He will be the first casualty. It is the only tactic that we are seeing of a team splitting up across the map right now, and they have paid the first price, the iron price, for that initial engage. Talking about guns, this guy here, we're following the other Team Secret player. I think it was Ontarius. He is he's currently got an M14 EBR.
Here we go though. Look at the Bads squad. This is the German team coming on through, full squadded up in the car together. They're ready to take on some enemies. They're ready to get this action underway, and they're getting close to the hill as well. In that one, you can see. Oh, actually no, they're nowhere near the hill. You can see the down at the bottom left, team number 1, but they do have a car, so they will be able to get across that map.
I've just seen that actually Vainglory Veterans have done exactly the same thing as Team Secret.
Vainglory Veterans number 2. So look at 2s across the map. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I can see one in the north, one in the far east as well.
Someone's caught very heavily in the circle right now.
Maybe that's the North American strategy.
That's the North American strat. Just, to be fair, Flash also said to me, we have a really dumb strategy. This appears to be that very dumb strategy, just splitting up. I think they're playing for place more than anything at this point in time.
Also, bear in mind that this is the first game out of 5.
Yeah.
So this could be a strategy also to test the waters in terms of how good are they at aiming, like maybe try and take a couple of aim duels 1v1, that kind of thing.
Well, interesting thing to note is that none of them felt confident playing on the iPhone.
Yeah.
None of them felt confident that their aim skill was going to be as good. And maybe in squad battles they just said that they would prefer to play this tactically and positionally, where they know that they can actually perform on the iPhone compared to what they would have maybe done in the qualifiers when they had their iPads to play on. So very, very interesting strategy coming out here. You can see the circle closing through. A couple of people getting caught in that first circle, but it is not a high damage circle. You don't have to worry about it too much on the first approach.
Yeah, that's the key thing. Just like an energy drink or a couple of bandages will be able to deal with the damage that that first circle does. It's later on into the game that you really have to start to worry. Here we go, though. Could have a fight on our hands.
Yeah.
Lucky Future here. They got...
Xavier, top secret, up there towards the southwest, just on top of that hill. You can see one member of Xavier top secret at least.
Yeah, that's our team from Thailand as well. They're going to be looking to try and represent their region. The only team from Thailand. So pressure on their shoulders from their home country. But you can see this member from Lucky Future, number 4, just kind of regrouping with his team. He was a little bit further away. And this is one of the things we've been talking about with these Chinese teams. They have players in like the scout or observer role that are going to be separating from the team to try and figure out what's going on in the nearby area.
A lot of standard setup that we're seeing coming through here. That was an M4 with the 2-shot shotgun coming through 2. I mean, you talked about it in the video. It's sort of a setup that a lot of people like, having that longer range assault rifle, then bringing in the shotgun, which can kind of be in a one-shot at close range. Here we see a Vector with an M14 EBR. So doing a similar kind of thing. The M14 EBR is a long-range rifle that doesn't have drop-off damage. It's very good in a sniper-like role. And the Vector is a very high rate of fire, but small clip size, short-range SMG, which can be devastating up close. So a lot of these players opting for, especially what you call the Russia players or the Charger players in the Chinese teams, they have that short-range and long-range weapon increased, and they're going to give that sniper over to their observer or their sniper player.
So you can see WEDG all squatted up in their car, but it's going to be RW98 here, just a single player on his own. He's managed to find himself a little tuk-tuk. He's going to be trying to get over towards that ring because, you know, they are starting to run out of time a little bit. They need to get closer because once it gets to the second ring, that damage is going to amp up. Even if you're already outside of it, that damage over time will start to build, and that's where it starts to get dicey.
WDG have made it into the circle here, their entire squad happily settled, and they're going to get into the next circle here as well, I believe. This is actually the second circle that's already opened up just above Bitter Lake, although you can see KM.
Yeah, trying to take shots at the car. Are they going to... Did they destroy that?
No, they didn't. It just went out of range.
Okay. I saw a little bit of flame from the exhaust there. I wasn't sure if that was a bit of an explosion, but...
He's running the SVD and the M14. It's interesting that you'd run the SVD and the M14 EBR together. They kind of do the same thing. But we'll see how that pans out. The SVD obviously doesn't have drop-off damage either, like the M14. Slightly higher damage per shot.
But smaller clip size as well, so something to be taken into account. Here we go, Hambone, or Hammy, to those who already know him. It's going to be, again, on that Vainglory Veterans squad. He's just playing that solo mission, just trying to survive as long as possible, trying to make sure that they get kind of a top 10, top 5 scoreline, at least in game number 1, then reassess the situation later on. You can see Chuck, another one of the teammates,
piecing out right there.
Taking a good amount of damage from that as well. Needs to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, Flash X also looks like he's very far outside the zone right now. You can see his health ticking down to about half. This is a super interesting strategy. They just seem to have vehicles and are just going to be driving around on vehicles for the most part of the time. Look at this though, loads of people.
Look how many players are just out of the zone.
No, look at Vainglory Veterans. All of them have headed outside the zone. All of the Vainglory Veterans are heading to the literal opposite side of the map.
They're just going to try and heal through.
And they're going to try and heal through the damage. This is not an uncommon tactic that we've seen in some other Battle Royale games.
I mean, I have won games in solo queue where you just kind of out-heal your opponent. You just sit outside.
This is a ridiculous tactic.
That's in a situation where you've already had a bunch of fights and you've got meds for days just in your inventory. If you're in this kind of situation where you've been kiting the entire game, how many meds are you really going to have available?
I think that's going to... Well, look, they wouldn't be enacting the strategy if they didn't think they could pull it off.
True.
Okay. This is the dumb strategy that they were talking about. They're just looking to out-heal and try and get to a tie enough position.
I'm not sure, man.
I'm not
convinced.
I'm not sure it's a winning strategy, but it's certainly an interesting one.
We'll have to wait and see. Here we go. Lucky Future going to be pushing on forward with the tuk-tuk. They're just about outside of the zone here, but they should be able to catch up and get on inside at any point. They do have a vehicle to work with, so shouldn't be too concerned about that one.
So we had some early kills traded sort of earlier on. One of Team Secret members going down. I'm not sure who the other casualty was at this point in time. But you can see everything else has been quiet since. As the zone starts to close in, things will start to get a bit more spicy, and we will start to see teams kind of be forced together. You're interestingly seeing a lot of teams claiming these compounds, these sort of I guess, buildings to be able to hold and shoot from, but no one's really matching up against each other right now.
Yeah, we've got Xavier top secret there, hold up in their building, but it's going to be Lucky Future. I believe they're in squads of 2 right now. I think there's a guy in the back there. I think it even hides the health bar when you're in the passenger seat of the tuk-tuks. Obviously, that's a strategy you can take it solo queue as well. You can hide in the back of a tuk-tuk, and you are just completely invisible at that point.
You can see here, we're actually just watching, again, one of these Team Secret, I think this is, one of these Team Secret members are just completely split up at this point in time. They are doing something similar to the Vainglory Veterans, but actually staying within the zone. So it looks like they're just avoiding combat for the most part, and then just sort of trying to find their way into a top 10 position. I guess the strategy from these guys is essentially, you're just trying to get consistent top 5 positions and maybe hope that those points will carry you over to a win at this point. And it's a tactic that maybe they're just afraid of fighting the Chinese teams. That kind of feels like it's what it's going to be.
I mean, I don't want to go too much on against them on that one, just because there's still 58 players on the server. Even the Chinese teams, even though they're sticking together, they're not exactly looking for fights right now. Everybody's playing this super cautious, being very careful, but the ring is getting smaller and smaller. And I have to say, these players that have been outside of the ring for basically the whole game, they're going to start to run out of medical equipment, and they're going to have to really start to worry about taking these fights.
There is a member of RW98 by himself on the western coast in the middle of the sea. There is a fight breaking out here, though. It looks like this is going to be Lucky Future matching up against a Rampage. You can see Voldemar over there. He is going to be spotted out by the Lucky Future.
Here we go, Amagretti trying to catch up to the rest of his team, trying to make sure that they're there to support one another. Minimum coming out, SLG starting to get tagged down, and you can see them pushing on forward.
Oh, that's a big hit!
Massive explosion coming on through, and this is going to be a few kills coming down, surely. Still 58 alive. Not quite able to finish any of these players off. You see SLG3 super low in this situation, and everyone from Rampage and RW both pushing in on the situation. This could be a 3-way fight.
This could be a 3-way fight indeed. You can see SLG moving up this hill, trying to get position on the fight here, and here we go. Things breaking out.
Well, here we go, another member of SLG going down, but they're only down, not quite out just yet. You can see the red flashing health bars over to the left as well. Everybody getting tagged out. There's another one dropping. The tuk-tuk going to be protecting him for a second, but there we go. All 4 members drop, and that is going to be a squad wipe.
Wow.
SLG taken off the map.
Big points for RW98. SLG come in officially last position in this first game here. Unluckily caught out by a fully mobilized squad from RW98. They got a lot of damage onto that 3-wheeler, knocked them out, forced them into an unfortunate position outside of cover, and it was a really good pincer movement from RW98 to put the pressure on them with nowhere to go as well. They had no trees, they had no bushes, they were stuck on top of a hill right out in the open.
Really unfortunate position to get caught in, because they were obviously in transit between cover, just caught on an open hillside.
Looks like a couple more people have just died, by the way, as we are now down to 52. I just don't know who that happens to be at this point.
May well have been people outside of the zone, in all honesty.
Yeah, it might well have been the case. It definitely looks like the 2 North American teams are doing exactly the same thing right now.
Oh, here we go. Shots coming out. Trying to get rid of this tuk-tuk that is on the
Rampage.
Hill. Rampage actually going to lose their vehicle. Waldemar, very brave to jump in that and try and drive it out of line of sight, because that was already on fire.
Rampage now looking for an opportunity to either just regroup and move away from this fight, or try and take it head on. I do respect Rampage for doing this, by the way. They're not playing on a device that they're sort of comfortable on. They're all iPad players, but they're not shying away from these battles. They are definitely looking to take this to the Chinese squads. And so far, they are all intact. None of them have kind of dropped down. They're very open right now, though.
Now, we had a very slow start towards the game, but now that we're getting to this later stage, you're going to see things really speed up. You can see the next zone is going to increase the damage. Here we go. The whole squad is in that building.
Team CC have got complete vision on RMP in a second. You can see them there. If they just spot them, they have to be so careful. They will be giving away their footsteps if they get any closer. I believe they're treating this building with the right respect, but they just have to be so careful about their positioning here.
Here we go. They pop up, and immediately Waldemar is dropped. That's going to be Amagretti going down as well. Immediately, 2 taken out there. CC number 4 doing huge work for his team. And now, oh my goodness, look at the shots coming out with a double barrel. One man standing, and there he goes. That was all a singular man, CC number 4, with a complete squad wipe.
That's a hunting rifle for you with bullet loops on. You get 2 shots with the hunting rifle with that bullet loops. It is a shotgun, technically, takes shotgun ammo, but it hits really hard at a slightly longer range, and they just didn't respect that little balcony. They walked straight out into the open and rampage. Just as we were praising them for taking things head on, they walked straight into the Team CC death trap, and you can see that is a complete squad wipe for CC4.
Important to notice, look how they're using the third person right here, making sure that they don't peek over, they don't let anyone know that they're in the house, but they can still see out the window because it is a third person game. So you
can see Tiggs over there, by the way, just
Tiggs
by himself.
Just hiding away. Sneaky, sneaky. Trying not to be seen. Here we go, Zeldran's for KM here. Not actually close to his team. His team are actually in the vicinity, but not right next to one another. Now catching up with the rest of the squad.
Looks like they've been in a bit of an engage here, or just taking damage in the zone.
I think they've just been outside of the zone, and they're finally catching up now. But OG, this is one of the teams that we need to be watching out for across the whole tournament. OG definitely a squad that you expect to do incredibly well.
It's the 3-wheeler tuck-tuck strategy. You can often see this.
Hide in the boot.
You hide in the boot of the 3-wheeler, and you can't be seen. You will actually have people auto-aim over you and hover over you if you're in it. But
if they have auto-aim on, though.
Yeah, exactly. But you cannot be seen in the boot of the tuk-tuk. So you can use it as a scouting post. You can also jump out on anybody that walks past you. Very interesting stuff. But they are very close to the Kinder Mines squad, who are just up on the hill near them. Look at this, though. Vainglory Veterans and Team Secret literally just sitting outside the zone still.
Here we go, Bads trying to get RW number 2. Oh, he's got a good vantage point, but just can't quite connect the shots in the end. Now turns around, sees Lucky Future behind him as well. Bad's actually kind of on the side of a mountain here. They could get caught out in a bad position, but
they've got good zone position, though, Munchables. They've got a hill and good zone position to work with. It's something we've kind of hovered over the other European team. Oh, some great shots.
Surely now they should be able to finish this one off. It's going to be RW number 2, just dodging bullets left, right, and center. I feel like I'm watching Morpheus right now.
Surely now. RW take a bit of damage there, but that's some great long-range shooting coming out, especially with the AN-94 as well. It's a single-shot rifle that functions a little bit like the M14 EBR, but it does suffer from drop-off damage. Return fire coming in from RW98, though.
Absolutely, but he is about to get outside of that zone, so does need to be cautious about his positioning. He's going to have to start to move in.
OG taking damage.
Under fire here. It's going to be KM on top of the hill. Fantastic position, but he's getting shot back and will be down. OG having none of it. Number 4 taking that shot right there, and he is the highest average damage player in this entire tournament based on the qualifiers. We'll see if they can maintain that score, though.
OG looked like they were in a tough position. They were being bottlenecked down from the top of the hill. 2 members from KW had charged up, but they got 3 knocks in return. OG in a great position, great defense, and it is just, I think it's Pricks just left alive. He's the only member. Oh no, there's 2 now. There's 2 members of Kinder Mines left up and available. 2 members have gone down. I believe one of them might be knocked, though, but they're all outside the zone at this point.
Yeah, I believe it's him and Scream that are still alive here. So I like this position on the military base, though, or on the training base, sorry, where they're able to hide behind various walls, and when somebody is spotted, immediately they can all pop up together and put fire down onto that position, make sure that they're never outnumbered. Here we go, though.
Xavier, top secret. We haven't really seen much of them throughout this game. They have lost 1 member already, but again, a lot of people outside the zone. The zone is super small at this point in time. Great shots.
Really fantastic stuff coming out. Marksman here, leaning out from behind the tree. You can see a tuk-tuk in the distance as well. Just going to charge straight on past. Should be able to blast that one out. And actually looking for the kill instead. Tagging him heavily. Can't quite finish off the kill, though. Very, very close one. We'll destroy the tuk-tuk in the end. And Kinder Mines are going to be eliminated.
Tiggs actually just got a kill in the field. People dying left, right, and center. Looks like a couple of people dying on the outside of the zone as well. This is just monstrous.
So
look at Tiggs right now. He's locked in some kind of battle with the zone. Yeah, he's out of the zone. There he goes, and he goes down to the zone.
GG Tiggs. There we go. RW98 eliminated as well elsewhere. And this is what we were saying before. The zone gets smaller and starts to do more damage. This is where teams will really start to drop off. CC now. Only 2 members remaining from this squad, but they are in the zone. They have a very nice, comfortable position here. Can just hold this one out, waiting to see if anyone will try and push on in. But a couple of full squads actually right in the middle of the circle.
I really love to see what's happened to Bad Squad. They had a really, really great position. MY still have every single member of their team left available. Love that Bowser Shell-esque backpack, by the way.
Here we go, Xavier.
Oh, they're walking straight into a death trap
this
here.
is bad news. Oh, look at OG. They're all on the side of the hill. This is terrible news. Shots coming out from the side here, but actually they are going to be able to take down CC as well. Only one member of CC remaining, and I think that's going to be the whole squad wiped. OG managing to win out that fight, but only one member surviving. So close in a full-on squad battle.
And they've got the zone moving in on them very slowly as well. It looks like they're inside that zone, though. They should all be careful. Yeah. They are all careful. That was brilliant stuff. Still a member from Team Secret up. Still a member from Vainglory Veterans up. They are tanking the outside of the zone. And Team CC has been completely eliminated, Munchables. The team that wiped out Rampage get schooled by OG, the team that we really needed to keep our eye on.
But it was such a close fight, so only a single member of OG actually survived, but they're going to be able to pick up the rest of their squad.
I've just realized what this strategy from Vainglory Veterans and Team Secret is. They collect loads and loads of bandages, loads and loads of first aid across the map, and they give it all to one of their players. That's why they joined up on the outside. They give all of their meds to one player on the outside, who then just tries to tank the zone out to the very end.
I mean, we'll see how well it'll work out for them. Obviously, the zone does continue to move in until it's at a point where literally there is no zone. There is no safe area. So maybe it could work out for them. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, if inside the zone, people are tagging each other up. Here we go. Lucky Future tagged very heavy. Number one is going to go down in the end. It's another kill for OG4.
OG are killing it right now.
OG4 specifically as well, just doing work. 3 kills, and in a tournament game, 3 kills is a lot to be working with.
I mean, we talked about this team having one of the best members, OG number 4, 1,850 damage per game, 6 kills on average. They are the team to watch. Xavier Top Secret, you can see that their logo still is alive. And we're just going to keep an eye on SDZ, a team that we really haven't seen much throughout this, but they are currently in the circle as it stands. They do need to move a little bit further. I think that is east to get towards the sort of the north or the southeast of Observatory there.
Yeah, and this is such a difficult area for the zone to be closing in on as well, because there's a lot of buildings to hide in, a lot of corners that you can find people surrounding on in. WEDG here, still all 4 members alive, trying to get towards that zone. They're still safe for now, but going to start to run out of time here. OG getting a lot of damage coming down from the German squad, but Bads maybe in over their heads here. Players dropping like flies. It's just, I believe, one of them still standing right now, as the OG squad seems untouchable in these firefights.
OG are pinpoint aim right now. They look on fire. They're going to start to rush up towards that Bad squad, taking every angle into account as well. Bad squad just held that hill for such a long period of time, but like you said, very little cover up there.
Yeah, grenades.
Here comes the chicken grenades.
It's actually gone in the wrong direction. I think they were expecting a flank to go on around there. The Bads actually managing to kind of regroup a little bit, pull each other off of the floor.
Look at this. This is mental right now. Lots of damage in the zone, by the way.
Here we go. Sleepwalking, trying to push on in. You can see the X-ray. These players all just hiding on in the houses. This is what I was talking about before. Actually going to be managing to sneak on into the zone. I think the only player currently actually in the next zone here. And that zone is going to start to do real damage. You can see that ticking away at those health bars. Raban here for Bads, managing to get shots down onto WEDG, gets 2 of them for himself. You can see player number 3 right there as well. He's outside of the zone though. He is going to be taking damage eventually. Or I think he's just about stepped inside now. I don't know if he knows that player number 3 is there.
You can't shoot through wire fencing anyway, I believe, so even if you did. There's a big move here.
Flank from OG though. Bads are in trouble from behind. We can see one of the Bads players doing exceptional work, but I believe that is going to be the squad wiped out in the end. OG still full HP on every single member. Utter domination right now. 13 players left on the map as we see more kills coming in for OG. SDZ going to be going down here. That's another squad wiped, and OG are feeling fantastic.
He knows that he knows that he's there, but he just knows you can't shoot through the wet wire fence. He's going to throw a nade.
Though.
Really, really good stuff. OG have been a pleasure to watch. They look absolutely ridiculous.
So grenade doesn't quite connect there, but OG just in complete control of the zone right now. 9 players left. You can see the WEDG guys kind of stuck in that situation. Eventually will go down to the hill. WEDG 3 just counting his days remaining, counting his minutes remaining at this point. But I want to see where the rest of the guys are. I can only see 6 around the zone, which means there are 3 other players somewhere on the map.
A Team Secret member left alive. A Vainglory Veterans member, at least one of them left alive.
Here we go, Car, Ryan 4. chilling.
Two WEDG members left alive.
Look at the damage from the hill, though. Look how fast his HP was ticking down there.
That's all of the players, by the way. Two WEDG members. That's Team Secret going out. They're actually going to get themselves a top 5 position.
There's one WEDG member remaining now.
There's 4 OG members, there's 1 car member and 1 Vainglory veteran member, I believe. It's just, they've collected a lot of medical kits on the outside of the zone.
I want to take a look at the minimap if we can and see where the rest of these players are. You can see Car actually very close to the zone and moving in a little bit there. That could be dangerous, actually, at this stage to move towards the zone.
WDG going to get eliminated here. OG have that zone
5
right now.
players left, which means it's just OG and then 1 other player. OG surely have the victory at this stage. Vainglory Veterans are going to die somewhere on the map. Car, the last man standing here in his tuk-tuk. Ryan, the poor bloke, he's just going to eventually tick down there. He knows his fate, but he's just going to keep on bandaging.
He's going to try and tank this one out.
I don't know how many meds he has. I wish I could see his inventory.
Oh, he's just really going for it now. He's having to pop it over and over again at this point. They are trying to just tank this one through, but OG really the deserved winners in this situation because they have 4 members left alive. But Ryan's still going for it around the outside of the zone.
If he could like run some players over in the tuk-tuk, he would be my absolute hero here. But just going to keep on pushing those meds on through. Just about gets it off in time. Nobody from OG has seen him just yet. And they are starting to run out of zone. Oh no, I think he's out of time. I don't think he's done it. Oh, he's gonna go down. There we have it. OG, our very first victors from game number 1.